Blow up this fishing tip. Even if the bite stops, you can catch a few more fish. In summer, if you want better fish bites, you basically choose to fish in the morning and evening. Therefore, some anglers simply go night fishing, starting to act as soon as the sun goes down and staying up as late as possible. Others like to fish in the early morning, starting to make a nest and fish before dawn until the fish stop biting. This time is roughly around 9 or 10 in the morning. Of course, it's not absolute. If the weather is good and the fishing resources are abundant, the time when the fish stop biting will be a little later. On the contrary, in the hottest weather of July and August, you may have to pack up and leave around 8 o'clock. However, here's a way to let you catch a few more fish after the fish stop biting. It's especially practical. You can try it as soon as you read it, and you'll know the effect once you try it. Number fishing tips. The method is relatively simple. After the fish stop biting, add a little attractant to the bait to enhance the bait's fish attracting effect, stimulate the fish to open their mouths, and increase the probability and strength of the fish biting the hook. So, which attractant is more suitable, how to use it, and how much to use? There are many such products on the market, and the brands are diverse and varied. For summer and autumn, the most widely applicable ones are fruit acid and Chinese herbal medicine wine. For wild fishing, there is no need to add attractants most of the time. Therefore, it is recommended that when mixing bait, especially novice anglers, do not add any fragrance additives. Because novices lack experience and it is difficult to judge the fish situation, do not add fragrance attractants casually. Just mix the bait normally in the early stage and fish. If the fish situation is good and you can catch fish in a row, keep it as it is and do not change it. If the fish situation is poor and there is no bite at all, don't consider adding attractants. It's useless to add them. Most likely, there are no fish in this place. There are only two situations where you can try to add attractants. One is that there are fish in the nest, such as seeing fish bubbles, fishy smell, or occasionally hooking fish, but the fish just don't eat the bait, or the feeding action is very slow, only small movements, no downward dips. Number stop biting. The other situation is that the fish bite was okay at the beginning and you could catch fish, but after the sun comes out, the water temperature rises, the fish bite obviously slows down, and the float movements decrease and become weaker. This is because when the water temperature rises, the fish start to leave the bottom but still have the need to forage. When they see the food falling, they occasionally chase down to bite, then float up immediately, and go down to bite again after a while. If you encounter the above two situations, you can try to use fragrance attractants. At this time, you can test whether the attractants in your hand are effective. From personal experience, organic fruit acid and Chinese herbal medicine wine can be used in these two fish situations, and the effects are good. The usage is very simple. Spray the attractant on the surface of the bait or drop a drop on the bait tray. Let the rubbed bait, or pulled bait, roll on it, then continue fishing. Fish a few more rods, and observe whether the float movements increase, whether the float exit strength becomes larger, whether the fish catching frequency accelerates, and whether the size of the fish becomes larger. As long as one of them is met, it means that the strategy adjustment is correct and the attractant works. If you think the effect is not obvious, don't rush to give up. You can try to increase the dosage. For example, if you originally sprayed once, you can try spraying twice or 3 times. So, how to choose between fruit acid and Chinese herbal medicine wine, and when to use them. If you are fishing in black pits, fat water, or polluted waters, choose fruit acid. If the water quality is relatively thin, the fish bite is slippery, or the weather is sultry, choose Chinese herbal medicine wine. However, this is not an absolute rule and can be adjusted flexibly. It should be noted that do not choose attractants mixed with Chinese herbal medicine fragrance for medicinal wine. For fruit acid, the one prepared with lemon water and fruit powder is much more effective than the fragrance-type fruit acid.